Hey guys, me Dave. I just thought I'd do a little video tonight. Uh, Second video for today. It's about 10 p.m. here in Duluth, Minnesota. It's 7/27/2019. It's Saturday night. So I'm sitting here by myself, having a couple beers. Um, it's kind of what I do on Fridays and Saturdays. I want to talk about isolation. There are so many of us that are isolated. I'm isolated. Um, I do, you know, I still get along with my family members. I'm one of five kids. So I get along with my brothers and sisters. Um, and I get along with my mother and all that stuff. These guys are involved in my program. They're not involved in harassing me, but they are involved in validating their technology. Remember, they gotta validate their technology hundreds of times a day. Whether it's strangers, perps on the bus, or whether you go to the dollar store, you go to the grocery store, I couldn't even imagine staying in a hotel because they'd have tons of perps there validating and harassing you at the same time. um, so I want to talk about isolation because honestly it's getting to me a little bit. You know uh, I mean, I've been going through this. They started to let me know I was in the program in 2012. You got to think that's 8, 9 years ago already. Um, I was working a job and they were causing anxiety for me and all this stuff. Causing all kinds of problems for me at my job. Um, so I've been single since 2011. That's a long time. 9, 10 years or whatever. 8, 9 years or whatever. And it's honestly it's getting to me a little bit. I miss it, interaction with people. I miss my brothers. I haven't seen my brothers in about 2 years. Not because they're involved in validating their technology, but they're not involved in harassment. Um, and a lot of why I haven't seen them is because we're in our 40s and my brothers are in their early 50s, 49, 50. They're busy with their own lives. They're grandfathers, for crying out loud. So they're busy with their own lives and I haven't really spent any time with them. I really need to make an effort myself to go out there and visit them, because I do miss my brothers. We used to go out and play pool every Friday night, and have a few beers and play pool every Friday night and all this stuff. It was really, really fun. Um, we used to build classic trucks, classic cars and stuff like that. We used to build, classic trucks, old trucks, and we had a ton of fun building old trucks and stuff like that. Um, but right now, um, you know, I've been isolated for about 8 years, to be honest with you guys. I've been isolated. Um, you know, I see my mother, I see my sister. We try to go for dog walks, 1 or 2 times a week, which kind of breaks up, the isolation. Um, and you know, you can connect with people online. You can connect with TIs online, connect with TIs by the phone and all that stuff. But it's not the same. It's not the same as having that physical interaction with people, and I miss that. I totally miss that. Um, I had a friend stop by about a year and a half ago. He was gonna buy a car from me. Um, a childhood friend. I was friends with him since I was like 8 years old. Um, you know, and he was gonna, stop by, interested in this old car that I had for sale and all this stuff. Um, and the thing is, he's like, stop up anytime you want. I'm kind of out of work right now. Stop up anytime you want. You come visit me and all this stuff. Um, but he was when he was here, he was validating their technology the whole time. He was stomping his foot. Whenever they'd throw a thought in my head, he'd stomp his foot. ESP. He had ESP. Um, you know, it's like, I like the guy. I wish I could hang out with him, but it bothers me that he's making money off of me. He's making money off of me. That bothers me. I kind of see that as a little bit of a betrayal. How could you do that to your friend? Um, you know, Stuff like that. But I feel like I got a hair on my face. Um, but so you know, I don't really have any good advice for you if you're isolated. Um, the only thing I can say is if you're talking about this to your family and your family doesn't believe you, it may not be the best thing to talk about this to your family. If your family's gonna disown you, it's not worth it. It's not worth losing your family over. Try to get along with your family the best way you can. And that's what I've learned. I have learned to do that. You know, we all know I'm going through this program. We all know what's going on. They're validating their technology, but I don't talk about this. Even if we go out into a restaurant and I got two family members in the same vehicle, they nail me. They nail me with remote neural monitoring, neural manipulation, and forced speech. I'm sitting here sucking it up. They're almost moving my lips. And I'm sitting here sucking it up because I don't want it to interfere with getting my family involved any more than they have to be involved. So it's really, really difficult. Isolation is very, very difficult. I miss going out with my friends and playing pool and having a couple beers, or going to the beach, or getting together and building old cars, or all that stuff. I miss it. And I miss my brothers and I miss my sisters. The one sister's in town. We went through a couple dog walks last week, which is really good. They had perps. They had perps up there. We went to Inger Tower in Duluth. Where they have picnic tables and trails and all this stuff. And there was a lot of people there. And there was a lot of people involved. A lot of perps involved. They were banging and saying comments, directed conversations, or whatever you want to call it. They were doing all this stuff. And you have to suck it up and ignore these people. In order to not let it interfere with your family function. So But it's getting to me a little bit. I miss. I haven't had a girlfriend in since 2011. What is that? 8 years, 8 9 years or whatever. Not even sure. Um, and you know, you miss all that stuff. And these guys will try to ruin your life, try to keep you isolated. Connecting with TIs is I'm totally for that. The only thing is, I'm up here in northern Minnesota, not the middle of nowhere. I mean, I live in a pretty decent sized city, 86,000 people in my city. Um, and the Twin Cities are a couple hours away, and the Canadian border is about 3 hours away. So, but there's no other TIs. I'm 2.5 hours away, 3 hours away from any other TIs in the state. You know, and I miss that interaction with people. That in person interaction with people. And it's getting to me a little bit. You know, um, you know, it's like my program. If I met a new friend or whatever, they would turn her into a perp in a heartbeat. They would turn her into a perp in a heartbeat. And my conscience has a problem with that. I would hate to drag anybody into this program, if they're perping me or whatever, or turning someone into a perp. That would really get to me. So I kind of choose to be isolated. Um, and that, it's just a sucky situation. Like right now, I'm having a couple beers. I sat home last night by myself and had a few beers. I'm sitting home tonight having a few beers by myself, and every day is by yourself. Like I say, you can call TIs, by phone or talk to them on Facebook or whatever, but it's not the same, it's not the same as if you were hanging out with somebody in person, so I just want to do a little video about that. Isolation sucks. I feel for all you guys that are in isolation, because it really does suck when they turn everyone that comes into your life, they turn them into a perp, so it really sucks. So I care for all you guys out there.